Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. It is no longer Father's Day. I didn't have time for a Father's Day video. Plus, every man that I consider to be my father has passed. So, that is that. This video is slightly important. If you are a person of color, you should probably sit your ass down and listen. Now, I've made videos like this before, and I guess I got to do a recap because I had a double whammy today. Alright? I do not know the young lady's name, and I do not give a rat's ass. I also told her that karma doesn't forget an address. So if you found me on TikTok, you can find her. If you find me on YouTube, she said some shit to me in a comment. Alright? So we're going to rehash that shit. This young lady is black. And if she's not black, she's mixed, but she was definitely targeting me. So there was a lady in a video in Walmart in her underwear pushing a shopping cart with a baby. Now my exact words were not mean, they were not harsh, but this young lady decided that she's gonna come at me. So I came back at her. I didn't come back at her the way she thought that I was gonna come back at her. I didn't come back at her nasty, but I did give her a warning that, you know, karma doesn't forget an address. And when you go after people who have done absolutely nothing to you, expect things to come back to you tenfold. Alright? I'm going to show you this picture in a second, because I used this picture in a video that I made for her. Her comment, because let me give you my comment. You can go to Instagram and find it. My comment was not mean. It wasn't brash. It wasn't evil. It wasn't sarcastic. What I said was, some people have no shame. You guys have seen me here in my underwear. You know? So, clearly, I'm one of them people that don't have a lot of shame. Alright? My body's not that bad. All the bad shit's right here in the gut. Working on it. Because, you know, from the side, I still look like a skinny stick. I have no ass. You know? But there's a place and a time for everything. Walking in Walmart, regardless of what color you are, you do not go into shopping stores in your underwear and you do not expose your baby to this crazy shit. Now, let's say she might have had an accident outside. So she left her clothes outside. Cool, I get it. But, no, this broad was walking around in her underwear. And the comedian that posted the video, the young lady didn't go after him. So, I had put, some people have no shame. And doesn't Walmart have a dress code? Obviously, I'm wrong about the dress code. But this young lady, she came at me. And she said to me, in capital letters, she goes, "You should be ashamed of your beat up ass face." And she obviously doesn't know I'm a martial artist and my face isn't beat up. So I made a return video. I made 4 of them. I only posted the last one because there was no feelings involved. You know, I didn't get into my feelings like in the first video, the second video, the third video, because I was pissed. But then I thought about it. I can be a piece of human filth like her, or I can try to guide her. I clearly failed. So she's going to be a piece of human filth for the rest of her days. And that's going to be her problem. It's not going to be my problem. But the young lady then came back at me and said that I was talking shit. But, like I said in my video, I'm not going to come back at her. I proceeded to tell her the story of this. I proceeded to tell her how my face almost got burnt off. And how this here is how I looked before this happened. And how I am happy to have my beat up, burnt ass face. Because when this happened, I didn't know I was ever going to get this back. And I used to think how ugly I was because I couldn't get dates, I couldn't get a girlfriend, I couldn't do anything with this face that I have. And when I lost this face, and for the 6 to 8 months that it took to get this thing you can barely see, but it's there. This arm that you can barely see, but it's there. This face that I had a choice. Fix my arm or fix my face. I took my face because you're always going to be able to look at my face. This was horrible. So for her to come at me about my face, but not go after the comedian who posted the video, you know, and I told her in the comments because she wrote me back and I was like, well, you know, it's funny how you went after the mixed kid, but you didn't go after any of the other people in the audience. So she supposedly is going to save face by going after them. I highly doubt that she will. And I'm pretty sure that it was a reverse racism thing, which is the total point of this fucking video. So I made the video. I showed her this picture. I was outside. My hair was jacked up. And I said, you think you coming at me about my beat up ass face. I said, I'm happy to have my face back, because this is what it used to look like. Y'all let that sink in. This woman has no idea what I've been through, but she decided to come after me in the comments because of the color of my skin. And she's a black woman. So, point being made is that reverse racism exists. I made 3 videos about this on TikTok. We don't have to go there. We shouldn't go there. But, for the sake of argument, I'm going to show you at least video 1. Alright? I'm going to show you video 1 of this entire clusterfuck. Is that video 1? Okay. Yep. So, this is video 1. Here. I am going to address this in 2 videos, possibly 3 videos. But this is about reverse racism, which I happen to be a victim of today. If you saw my other video, I put that person's name in the thing about cyberbullying. So it was more cyberbullying as well as reverse racism. I will not re-add that person's name to this because I don't need to acknowledge them or give them more clout than they need or whatever, because they're probably going to make a name for themselves on Instagram by what I said to them in my video, and then they replied to me, and so I said in my reply to them, karma does not forget an address in your quest to do whatever you're going to do, because she said that she was going to go after everybody in the comments because I specifically pointed out that she only went after me, which she did. She only went after me, and the unfortunate side effect is that this woman is a person of color, which I am also a person of color. This woman is also a black woman. So, you don't need any more of that, but what we are going to do is find a video with her name. Okay. Found the video. So, if you can read that, that's her name, the top one. It's in reverse. So, young lady, if you're here and you found me with your cyberbullying ass, now I'm on equal footing so that I can't get banned or blocked unless the people from TikTok or Instagram decide that I'm being a total douche. So they're going to scrap or can me. But luckily, I have a backup account for my TikTok. I also have a backup account for my YouTube. I just don't know what the fuck it is because it's with my cell phone. It has a picture of me with my future wife and crush, the amazingly beautiful, flawlessly sexy, and all out dangerous Zay. Anyway, moving on. So I went down the line, all right? Because like I said in my 3 TikToks, eventually I got to the point where I acknowledged the fact that I did not know that I was part indigenous to the 5th grade, which I didn't. I just thought I was black. Now we're going to talk about reverse racism. So I got to give y'all a long and short summary of the shit I went through, okay? So if you're white, if you are black, if you are Asian, please have a seat. If you are native, please sit in the front. No offense. But I'm going to explain to y'all the shit that I've been through as a child. But I'm going to give you the long and short because I've made this video 1,000 times before. I know all of y'all have seen it. So I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version. Alright? As a child, being raised, I was mostly raised black. Which is why I fought from the age of 6 to 12. Because black people, for some reason, needed entertainment. And child fights is like what you guys are equivalent to bum fights are now. If bum fights still exist. But my uncles used to make me fight. Alright? I learned martial arts. I got better at fighting. That is irrelevant to this video. What is relevant is that as a child, I only wanted to be black. I had no exposure to my culture because my great-grandmother on my father's side was Cherokee. She would tell me native stories or folklore. As a child, you don't know what that shit is. You do not know the value of your grandparents' life or their stories until you are old enough to understand what that shit is. And then you're too late, which is my fault because by the time I was 12, my great-grandmother on my father's side had passed. My great-grandmother was Cherokee Indian, so yeah, I am of the go-to tribe, all right, until we prove otherwise. So there you go. My grandmother on my mother's side is Native. She was adopted. She was raised black. So you see where this is going? Her husband, my mother's father, was half black and half white. You see where this is going? So when all this was going on, he could be white passing. My grandmother could be Native passing because she's either all Native or she's mixed Native. You understand? So, and unfortunately, her nickname was Pocahontas. It's still Pocahontas because she's still alive. Anyway, on my dad's side, my great grandmother was named Ada. My grandmother was named Clara Bay. Okay? Literally, her name was Clara, or Bay Clara, or Clara Bay. But we always called her Bay. Grandma Bay lived well into her 90s. And she died when I was like 35, 36. And I have video of her somewhere. But the most important thing is that Grandma Bay was slightly sharp. I say that nicely because you're going to eat those pancakes with corn in them, or you're not leaving the table. So what I probably was looking for the word strict. Again, all that shit irrelevant. Now, what is irrelevant is about the part of being black. Because most of my reverse racism has come from black people. Not all black people, but a minority or a majority, depending on how you want to look at it, because it's a majority when it comes to all of my racist events together, but it's a minority in the world. I misspoke on that on my TikTok, but still, it's been a majority of my racist incidents have come from black people. Alright? So, in school, little black girls, some of them red bone like me, would tell me I was not black enough. Never gonna be black enough. This carried from grade school to high school. So that should tell you why I stopped dating black girls. Part of it. The other part is when I almost got shot in Smithfield because this black girl, we were the same age, but she was dating a 23-year-old who, instead of thinking that it would just be easy to beat my ass because I'm 14, decided, hey, I'm going to shoot you. I never dated another black girl since, and if you want to come at me for that, that's a you problem. You can't make me date black girls because you want me to date black girls. I have the right to choose. Understand that shit. And the truth be told, only white girls and Asian girls and Latin girls have really given me the time of day. So my options was wait for the white black girl to come along where I can age out and die, or keep moving forward with life. I chose to keep moving forward with life. So if you don't like the fact that I date Asian women or Native women or Spanish or white women, again, that's a you problem. Also irrelevant for this video. What is relevant is that I can count on my hands and toes how much hate I have gotten from black people. So for everybody watching who says, oh, black people can't be racist, you need boots to ass. BOOTS-TOASS. You need boots to ass. Because I'm here to tell you, the truth of the fact of the matter is everyone can be racist. There is an equal amount of racist black people as an equal amount of racist whites, natives, and Asians. And if you fall into that category where you are a racist, then you're a fucking racist. Doesn't matter what color your skin is. And see, I met one honest racist white man. I talked about him before. And he has a twin brother. I don't know if they're still alive, but those are the racists that I like. Because they were about stabbing me straight to the face instead of stabbing me in the back. Alright? Like I said, I've had maybe 7 incidents with white people that were racist. The main one was when I was on my job and the guy wouldn't stop calling me chief. Alright? My black racist incidences? Oh God. 10 fingers, 10 toes. It ain't enough. Especially when you count it went from grade school to middle school to high school to college. And when you think about that shit, it's not as difficult if I had black hair, if this was my true skin tone, but I'd still have to pass the paper bag test, something white people don't have to deal with, something Asian people slightly have to deal with it, something natives have to deal with. Because if you're the wrong color native, you're not native enough. I've gone through that shit. I've had 2 incidents with natives where I was told I wasn't pure blood by two members of the same family, which I threatened to roll their wheelchairs down the hill and also into the street. And as I told them, the only reason why I'm not going to fight you is because you are in wheelchairs. And I have my honor. If I don't have anything else, I have my honor. But I really wanted to roll that motherfucker down the steps. Not just down the hill, but down the fucking steps. Make him hit every damn step. And why was that? Because he could have talked to me like a man. He looked me dead in the face as if I wasn't even a human and told me that I'm not a pure-blood native. We don't want you near the High Chieftain's daughter. Regardless of the fact of whether she liked me or not, because she did, they straight told me to my face that I was pretty much a piece of shit and an abomination. They just didn't use those words. And me being young and stupid, instead of being an adult, I threatened to roll them down the hill. And one, I threatened to roll in the street in traffic. Alright? Yeah, I own that shit. Was it wrong of me? Yeah, it was. But was it though? Because they came at me for some shit that I couldn't help. It's not my fault that my grandmother Bay married a black man and had like 7 or 11 kids by the man. Alright? Yeah, they were fucking like rabbits. But anyway, because the last 3 kids was my uncle Robert, my father, and my uncle Bruce. Happy Father's Day to all of y'all, especially the ones that's still alive. I know none of them are watching this shit. But anyway, point being made, I didn't get a say in my birth. I didn't get a say. You know, I didn't get to choose boy or girl. I didn't get to choose skin tone. I didn't get to choose any of that shit. It was made for me. You know, at least the creation of me was made for me. But as far as gender and all that other shit, you don't get a choice of that. Now, if I was in the alphabet community and I wanted to transition over to a female, okay, then I would get that choice. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I am not going anywhere. I am a straight man. I will support the transgender community, the alphabet community, or whatever they're going by, but I'm not going to join them. Alright? I got their backs. But that's it. That's where it is. I'm also not going to date in that direction because I like to stay in my lane. Alright? And I mean that utmost respectfully. I like to stay in my lane. But, see, reverse racism is, you see this towel? See how it matches one part of my arm, but not the other? Yeah. Paper bag test. I actually had someone do the paper bag test while we were in school. So again, reverse racism is a thing. And for those who don't think that black people can be racist, you just ain't met the right black people. For those who don't think white people can be racist, you haven't met the right white people. For those who don't think Asians can be racist, you just haven't met the right Asian. For those who don't think natives can't be racist, you haven't met the right natives. I haven't had any problems with Spanish people. And 9 times out of 10, if you're Spanish, but by via Mexico, that means you're indigenous to Mexico. Now, if you're Spanish by via of Spain, you're actually European. So, I understand how that works. Because sometimes your location doesn't make you what the indigenous people are. I am part native. I am part black. I am part white. But I'm all Echo Fangray Wolf. And I'm all about giving you 99.9. Now, the 1,000 might be a little bit harsh for people. And I'm not trying to insult black people. Let me say it again. For me, it was definitely a majority versus a minority of black people that gave me problems. Where, for me, with white people, it was a minority versus a majority. Because like I said, maybe 7 incidences from grade school to college. Maybe 7 incidences. Well, maybe 7. At best, 8. But there's nothing good about being the victim of racism. And you're probably saying, well, what did you do to them? I was breathing their air. Like I said, this shit started in grade school. In grade school, kids don't see color until they're taught color. When the young white lady called me the N-word and I bust her lip, all my white friends stopped being my friend. When I was going through the race war in grade school, the white friends and the black friends wanted nothing to do with me because I was a half-breed. And they continued to call me a half-breed until we got to the 5th grade when they found out that, guess what? I'm not a half-breed. I'm a trifecta. What is a trifecta, you may ask? Because I didn't know. I just thought I was black and white. And at the time, I really wanted to just be black. But more black people rejected me than white people. White people didn't trust me because they were afraid that I was going to go tell their secrets to the black people. Black people didn't trust me for the exact same reason. And y'all couldn't find no unity in that, right? So then when we get to the 5th grade, Miss Conrad, God rest her soul, taught me that I was part Native. I didn't believe her till I went home. Because when you are a child and you see family, you literally see family. You don't see ethnicity. You don't see color. You might see gender because that's something that you understand. Until you get like 18 and then you get confused and you don't understand. But anyway, those are things that you deal with versus things that you don't deal with. And if you are not mixed, then you don't understand the racism that I've faced. You may have encountered racism. Straight up. You may have encountered racism. If you aren't mixed, you've probably only encountered harsh, light, maybe a few bad words, racism. But when you are mixed, your racism fails in comparison to the shit we mixed people go through. You're not Native enough. You're not pure Native. You're not black enough. You're not pure black. You're not white enough. You're never going to be white. You have no idea how many times I've heard those things. I got a lot of grease on my forehead as I pick out this wedgie. Draw off my forehead. Like I said, I give you 99.9. There's no way y'all could miss me picking out this wedgie. I got to get the other cheek now. Anyway. But, the thing about that is, see, a lot of people don't like honesty. And I'm giving you 99.9 because the whole 1,000 might break the internet. But the point being made is that reverse racism does exist. You may not want to believe it because you don't want to see it. Racism can be discussed if everybody would get off their high horse and have the uncomfortable conversation that they don't want to have. Why do they not want to have the uncomfortable conversation? Because they don't want to lose things. If your friend is real, you won't lose your friend. Unless you are the racist. No. If you're the white person and you're a racist and you are afraid of losing your black friends, then you probably will. Because you've been a racist and they just didn't know it. And then you stabbing them in the back versus stabbing them in the face. Both stabs are bad. But at least if you're racist and you know it, and your friends or co-workers who are black know it, you got a less chance of them getting your ass fired when you show up to all these damn racist rallies. Because see, if I'm going to say anything, I'm going to say the truth. Alright? There aren't a lot of black rallies where your boss can look at a black person and say, okay, this motherfucker's a racist, I'm going to fire him. Because that's going to be a shitstorm. Alright? Which is why if you see a black person goes to a BLM rally, and as long as that black person isn't holding a weapon or a stick or a rock and smashing shit, no one's going to say anything. They're just going to say, oh, he's a black man at a BML rally. Nothing. But the second a white person goes to any kind of racist rally, their shit's over. Their shit's literally over. And I don't think that it's fair, but I can't really not agree with it. Alright? Because here's that thing. Social media can make you or break you, which is why you have to be on your best behavior with social media. You have to. Don't worry, I'm still on topic. See, if a white person goes to a rally, say January 6th rally, people almost died there. Some people did die there. One veteran for sure. One cop for sure. Now, I could be wrong on my facts on how many people actually died there, because I know it was more than just those two. But both of them were on one side or the other. The cop was doing his job. He was killed. The woman was a vet. She was killed. She also knew better as a vet that you're not supposed to try to overthrow the government because you swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States. You swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. You didn't swear to protect the people. You swore to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States. Alright, make sure y'all understand that that is a thing. That military people, we swore to serve and protect the Constitution of the United States. The human life is just a bonus, So that's the thing. You know, when a lot of people are talking about serving and protecting, you need to understand that you swore to protect the Constitution. It never says, I, such and such, so solemnly swear to protect the people of the United States. It doesn't say that. It says, I serve and to protect the Constitution of the United States. So, if you don't know that, now you do. Ask a vet. Oh, you just did. It is very important that I use this toothpaste. That was off topic. And I'm finally out of Pepperdent. Thank you for serving. Now, as I said, you know, you as a person have certain liberties and certain rights that the Constitution allows you to have. If you go to a rally that is against the Constitution or trying to overthrow the government, you know, you are putting yourself out there. You are putting yourself in danger. And you are going to be held accountable for it. Alright? Now, why did I go there? Because I am a vet. And all vets know that if you turn against the government, treason is a thing. Now, why did I go there? Because you have to look at how many people lost their jobs that were white for going to the Trump rally. They wound up being an insurrection. Where other white people have been fired for less, which is fucked up, but other white people have been fired for flashing their boobs on TikTok. Not TikTok, Instagram or Snapchat, whichever one that allows nudity. I think it might be Twitter, because I'm banned from Twitter. But, you know, the point being made, you know, I don't think those people should be fired for doing shit off the duty time. But for racism, you know, people have gotten to a no holds barred when it comes to racism of what they can get fired from. And like I told a lady that I talk to at school all the time, you don't know anybody's a racist until you find them at a place that they should not be, right? Like here in Virginia when we had the alt-right movement that cost Miss Hire her life because she was a white lady standing up for black people, and she got plowed down by a white dude who also tried to plow through a whole bunch of black people. And let me rephrase that, he didn't try, he literally plowed through about 40 people. Might be more, might be less. Y'all can go Google it, Charlottesville, Virginia. I stayed at home that day because the entire city opened up and was told we're going to have all these other events just to keep people away from this racist asshole. But instead of taking the initiative, everyone took another initiative. Let's go down there and be anti-protesters. And then our ex-president came in and said something about there were good people on both sides. Let me explain something to y'all and the ex-president. There's no such thing as a good racist. There's only such thing as an honest racist, which I just said like 20 minutes ago. I know one honest racist, and I like him because he was honest, and he straight told me the only thing that he didn't like about me was the fact that I'm part black. But he was honest about that shit. Now, when it came to black people, oh no, you don't understand how many times a black person has called me a half-breed and other family members, because we got different tones. Y'all can see by my arms, everybody in my family got different tones because we're mixed. We all have lighter shades of brown. Some of us are even off-white and can be white passing, minus the hair. Now, I got back to this point for a reason. Reverse racism and racism in general, it is a thing. But we don't want to sit down and talk about it. We don't want to have the uncomfortable conversations. We don't want to get 3 or 4 people from every ethnic background to sit at a table and just straight say, let's prick our fingers. Everybody drops red blood. You might not like my lifestyle because I'm culturally different from you, because I earn my feathers from my headdress. I do ceremonial dances. It's got nothing to do with my job, but it is my life. But I can get fired for that. can also get fired for that if I'm white. But 9 times out of 10, those guys that had the tiki torches, all of those motherfuckers were fixing to lose their jobs. Which is another reason why when people go to these rallies, the bulk of them, they go in like this. And the mask is probably muffling my voice. They go in masked up because they know that their jobs are on the line. I don't condone racism, but I will say if you're in this thing and you're a racist, you kind of got to deal with the consequences of your actions. They're not taking away your freedom of speech. They're just taking away your jobs. Is it fair? Not really, especially if you actually are a good worker. But at the same time, if the shoes were on the other foot and your homework for tonight, if you understand the assignment, is to go watch the movie White Man's Burden. It might be called Black Man's Burden. I can tell you who's in it. It has Harry Belafonte and it has John Travolta. So if I got the title wrong, just Google John Travolta and Harry Belafonte. Then you'll be able to see the movie White Man's Burden or Black Man's Burden. I don't know the name of the damn thing. But it'll give you a hint on what would have happened if white people were slaves instead of black people. It'll really open up your eyes to a lot of shit. But the point of this video is really quite simple. No one is above racism. And America is the most racist country in the world. It doesn't have to be. It chooses to be. Now, you might not like this, but that's why I'm going to end the video at it chooses to be. How many times have you seen people go to a peace rally in America? How many times have you seen the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Panthers come and sit at a table together with every other hate group and just fucking talk about why we hate each other? It hasn't happened, and it won't happen in my lifetime. You know why it won't happen in my lifetime? Because too many people are too scared to tell the truth. Too many people don't want to lose their jobs or their livelihood, but they still want to be racist. But not understanding that, well, if you're going to be racist in a country full of racists, that's one thing. But this country is not just full of racists. It is a country that have people who are not racist. Have people who date outside their race, who marry outside their race, who procreate outside their race, which is why people like me exist. I am the reason why America exists. So that when you left your origin country, you can come and be who you want to be. Date and have sex with whoever you want to have sex with instead of having it be forbidden to procreate with someone. And make a child out of love regardless of if the mother is Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Laos, Native, Spanish, white, and the father is black, or white, or Asian, or Native, or Spanish. See where we're going here? America was formed so people could have a lot of fucking sex and make interracial babies. That was a joke. But the truth of the matter is, there's no one, no matter what color they are, above being a fucking racist. But racism is a choice. If you choose to be a racist, you probably don't want to follow me. If you choose to sit down and listen and hear, or at least hear and attempt to listen to what I'm saying, you may get where I'm going with this. I've been the victim of reverse racism. I've also been the victim of racism. You know why I've been these victims? Because no one wants to talk. No one wants to sit there and say, well, you know, Echo, I hate you because you're part Native. I hate you because I'm not part Native. And you are part Native. And I am disgusted that your parents procreated with someone out of their race. But what part of that disgusts you? Because they fell in love with each other and they had a baby. The fact that you are allowed to legally love who you want, there's no law in the Constitution that says you can't love someone who you want. The Loving case here in Virginia proved that. And they both went to jail for that shit. I'm sure the man went to jail more than the woman. And he was a white man. So, here's the thing. And we will end it here. If If we all sat down and talked, and not just talked, and not just hear, but actually listen, word for word, verbatim, racism will slowly start to deteriorate until it's over. And here's why. I said it earlier. We all bleed red. We all like to wash our asses. We all like to eat. We got more in common than what we don't have in common. The only part in the middle is that you hate people for something that none of us have a choice in. You don't get to pick your skin tone. You don't get to pick your parents. You don't get to pick your race. What you do get to pick is the person that you become. You can be a first-class racist, or you can be an asshole. I fall into the asshole category, not the racist. But I'm your kind of asshole because I'm honest. And a lot of people don't like honesty. But I don't like to work that hard, and if you're lying, you're working too hard. But understand this. Take this away. Racism can come to a stop. If we really wanted to, we can stop racism tomorrow. Because all we have to do is get 2 people collectively from every hate group and every other group of breathable people, chain them to a chair next to each other, and let them talk and listen. If they start arguing, we flood the room. Then they'll stop when they realize that they need each other to save each other. Because sometimes a little destruction leads to victory and peace. Now, once the water get neck high, they all shut up. We drain the water. We have a little blinking light and say, try again. Every time, we only let the water get to their necks. So hopefully all these people are not short like me. Because some people might drown if they're short. We drain the water. We do it over and over and over again until all the leaders of racist damn groups come to an agreement that we are all human beings. We all have the right to be loved. We all have the right to be heard. But more important, we all need to listen. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I took up 30 some odd minutes of your time, but I'm also having tech problems. Be seeing you.